Well, President Obama taking on Republican opponents while getting ready to unveil billions of dollars in new stimulus spending, although they're not calling it that exactly. He's expected to announce new tax cuts for businesses tomorrow, and this is all part of a pre-election push on the economy. But the GOP isn't buying it, and they're developing their own agenda, or that's what we hear. Illinois Congressman Peter Roskam is the Republican deputy whip and a member of the House Ways and Means Committee. So, Congressman, what is the Republicans' plans for the economy?
Well, I think moving forward, there's a couple of key points. What I'm hearing from my district and around the country from business leaders is that uncertainty is as bad news. And there's so much uncertainty in the economy right now on tax policy, on regulatory policy, and on runaway spending that's actually having a drag on the economy ultimately. So Republicans say, look, the first thing we need to do is to extend the 2001 and 2003 tax cuts and make those permanent so that the job creators, that is 94% of the small businesses that are doing their tax returns in such a way that they're impacted by the individual tax rate, know what the tax rate is going to be. I mean, think about it. We're in September of this year, and moving forward for people that are trying to make decisions about where and how to invest, they don't know what the tax code is going to be like for them next year. So we say bring certainty and good news, and that would be first and foremost extending those tax cuts and making them permanent.
And Congressman, your point is well taken. Uncertainty is definitely out there. We're talking about the economy a lot, but Republicans seem to be talking only about those Bush tax cuts, and we keep on hearing about this big plan that the Republicans are going to unveil after Labor Day. You mentioned the tax cuts, but what else is there?
Well, if you look at the testimony that was before President Obama's own debt commission, it said, and it was testimony from an economist at the University of Maryland who said, look, every time the debt to GDP ratio gets above 90%, it costs the economy 1 million jobs. Well, our debt to GDP ratio is now at 93%. So the point is, if we bring spending under control, that's actually going to take a part of the monkey off of the back of the economy, and you get government spending more in sync where it needs to be. And then finally, on the regulatory side, look at how businesses are responding to the big health care law that has been put into place. Look at how businesses are responding to the uncertainty that's coming as a result of the financial regulatory law that has been put in place. They don't know what the ground rules are.
Okay.
They don't know moving forward. So my argument is uncertainty actually does create a platform upon which business folks can make decisions and move forward.
So how are you going to fix that?
Well, I think first and foremost, getting back to the tax cuts and making those permanent, that creates a sense of predictability. You don't, what you don't do is you don't fall into the old spending models. Think about the language that President Obama is using right now to pitch an additional $50 billion in spending. He's saying, well, this is going to go for infrastructure. Well, wasn't that the same argument that was made on the $1 trillion stimulus package that passed 18 months ago?
And
look at how that is performed.
Let me stop you there. So there's still some question about whether or not this is actually part, that $50 billion from the first passage of that $1 trillion stimulus program. But let's talk about the $200 billion of tax credits that the president is reportedly going to announce tomorrow for businesses out there. So that is more spending, some Democrats say, in a way, when it comes to the Bush tax cuts, saying if we keep those tax cuts, it's actually taking away money from our economy. But would you support these type of tax cuts, these for small businesses? It would be more spending by the government, but it would help out businesses. So would you be for that?
Well, I think it's ironic. Only Democrats can come to the conclusion that actually letting businesses keep their own money is somehow government spending. The research and development tax credit is one of the proposals that President Obama is advocating, and I'm for the permanent extension of the R&D tax credit. I think part of the problem, though, of the president's approach is that it's marginally better, but wouldn't have this been better to have it at the first of the year where businesses actually know what to move forward, or even thinking through some of the expensing that he's proposing? Yeah, it's a good thing, but why would you want to help business with one hand by admitting that putting more money into business is a good thing, and then taking it away in the alternative by allowing these tax increases to go in place right after the first of the year? So I think that the administration has sort of gotten into this one playbook that says spend, spend, spend your way into prosperity. And the public is saying, look, We don't want just one playbook. That play has failed. We want to see another play moving forward, because when it all comes down to it.
We're looking forward to hearing more of your plays as well, Congressman. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to hearing more about the Republicans' plans and those details coming up in the next few weeks, sir. Thank you.